Today's episode of Wiki Sift is brought to you by... Why is this the one that's breaking me? Today's episode of Wiki Sift is brought to you by Proud Balimbo. What is this big laugh? It did make me laugh when I wrote it. Not that much. Today's episode of Wiki Sift is brought to you by Proud Balimbo's Bum Supplements.
Stevo, this is Farad.
Hi, Farad.
Hello,
Stevo. I don't know if you guys have met before, but
I don't believe so.
But you both go to the same two conventions I always go to, so
I mean that could be. Or we could talk about like public conventions or the discreet ones that the guest list is scrubbed of all identification on the way out.
No, I'm not talking about the weird sex ones.
Well, okay, weird is also a very relative term, Tom. I'm not going to kink shame here. That's not what we do on Wiki Sift.
It's not more Star Trek tonight, but we will be doing more Star Trek.
So I heard a really fun fan theory that the reason why the transporters constantly malfunction is the Federation drags its heel on OS obsolescence, and the transporters are running the equivalent of Windows 95.
Have you guys seen that web comic that's just about the life of Miles O'Brien on board the Enterprise?
No.
It sounds familiar.
It's really cute. There's like one web comic that's just like 5 straight panels of him just standing at the console and nothing happening. And finally, the last panel is just, I could just beam everyone into space if I wanted to.
No, I've followed a Twitter feed called Annoyed O'Brien. It's basically it's basically Miles O'Brien as the head of ops over in Deep Space Nine. And you just hear him just yelling at people. You read him yelling at people saying, why are there 500,000 eggs in the middle of the promenade or something like that.
I love it because that's not even remotely his job.
No.
It sounds like something that he would be asked to deal with.
And Quark would be the one asking.
See here. Oh, yeah, you go. Attention, Annoyed O'Brien says, attention everyone, Quark is serving something called deconstructed burrito and the ingredients are scattered all over the station. To translate, our sonic showers are full of guacamole. It's like, it's not true.
Welcome to Wiki Sift, a shallow dive into pop culture and fandom. Today we're going to be talking about movies with absurd, cumbersome names.
Are you waiting for me to say something like I usually do? Because I'm trying to throw you off this week.
Maybe you did. Actually cooperating threw me off. This is the part where the theme song goes.
People finally get to hear the theme song. Hooray!
I'm Tom, he's an evil genius white, and today I am joined by...
Hi, I ordered the 5,000 deconstructed burritos and showers full of guacamole. I'm Stevo, and I'm here every week.
Our special guest Stevo, who's here every week.
Even though we don't record every week, I'm here every week.
Stevo does the podcast Friday Night Fanfiction.
Well, it's currently on hiatus until life decides to give this poor parent a break.
Yeah. But it still exists.
No, I can't scrub it from the internet like I did my last podcast. That was effective.
Farad, you want to introduce yourself?
Certainly. My name is Farad Mohammed. I am a background actor, kind of foreground actor, comedian, ? And up until earlier this morning, I was a host on the app HQ Trivia, so that was also pretty nice there. But yeah, so that's pretty much all about me there. But yeah, I've known Tom for pretty much like almost like 9 years or something like that.
I have
and
no idea at this point.
Also, if I might comment, every good comedian ends their status with a question mark because we honestly just don't know.
yeah, pretty much.
Wiki Sift is a willfully ignorant fandom podcast where we don't actually directly consume media and just read what fans wrote about online. Because I could watch all 20 seasons of The Simpsons since I stopped watching in season 14. But at this point, I'd rather just go on The Simpsons wiki and see how many characters have a page. Only 5,571.
Oh my God.
But today specifically, we're talking about movies with ridiculous and cumbersome names. There are a lot of movies out there with absurd premises, but I want to focus on movies where you just hear the name and you're already scratching your head. A little disclaimer. I know a lot of these movies are comedies specifically meant to sound silly, but I still... I think they're too great
That's valid.
Or sometimes terrible to not talk about here. So I am aware that they are comedies and we're not just making fun of something that we think is dumb. Well, some of them we are.
Don't speak for all of us, Tom.
Okay. All right. You can mock what you choose to.
I absolutely will. Again, this falls directly back to the topic of kink shaming.
Okay, let me... Why does every episode come back to kink shaming?
It's a prominent issue.
I kind of want to preface this by explaining how I ended up in this rabbit hole because it's a weird story. Back in like 2002 and 2006, I was working in a movie theater and they had like little name tags that they would give you that have your favorite movie written underneath. And so every time they would order a new name tags, they're like, "Hey Tom, what's your favorite movie?" And I would give them a different answer every time just to put something funny as like the movie thing. And I was pretty sure they checked to make sure they were real, so I couldn't just put something like horribly obscene or something.
Right.
So one day I said, just give me a couple of minutes. I'll let you know. And then I called my brother at home. I'm like, can you look up some movies with really long names? I want to see what I could, like, what's the longest thing I could fit in this name tag. And he found one that was like way too long that could never possibly fit on this name tag in a million years. So eventually we settled on one that we found at IMDb called Punk Rock Zombie Kung Fu Cat Fight. And they had to put it in a smaller font to fit on the name tag, but it fit.
Making them earn it.
So, yeah, now we could spend all day talking about movies with names like Velocipaster and Sharknado and whatnot, because there's a million of those. But so I really want to focus on the more elaborate or overly descriptive ones. I don't want to do foreign movie titles, or rather I should say foreign language movie titles, because that's a whole can of worms I don't even know how to get into because I don't speak those languages.
Also, sometimes direct translations are not entirely favorable to what it actually means.
Yeah.
So
let's start with movie names that just paint a weird picture. Like you guys probably may have heard of these movies because they're pretty well known. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
This is actually the first I've heard of this.
It's a good movie.
Okay,
I've seen it. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which
is not a good movie. Yes.
No, that is the most disappointing movie based on its title I've ever seen. Like I was so revved for that movie when I heard of it, and then I saw it, and I'm like, an Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind
movie.
Yeah, you've probably heard of that. But have you heard of Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death?
Yes, I've done a TMT edit of this movie. I really don't like Bill Maher, by the way. I'm not a fan.
Wait, what?
I am not. Adrienne Barbeau is in it. I like her. Bill Maher is in it. I do not like Bill Maher.
Gotcha.
I
okay.
either didn't know or forgot he was in it.
It's such a disappointing satire. I wish there were more out of it.
Satire.
Yes.
I think the word that jumps out to me in that title is avocado.
Yeah.
Is that just the name of the jungle and like the
There are
vegetables?
avocados there. Avocados factor in part of what they do culturally.
I mean, I do know that avocados grow on trees, so
Yeah,
if
I mean,
you had a whole
it's
bunch of
literally
trees
it's about an anthropological study into cannibal women in a jungle that grows avocados. So again, title delivers.
I feel like this one kind of made me like rethink the things that I thought I knew. Like, are avocados named after the jungle? Or you guys have the doc open. You can see some of the other amazing titles
Hey,
here.
you told me not to read ahead, so I haven't scrolled anywhere.
Okay, well, got cannibal women in the avocado jungle of death.
Okay,
Do you
all
see the
right.
next one on the list?
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
Jesus
Vampire
Christ,
Hunter.
Vampire Hunter. Yeah,
I've seen it. Honestly, another one of those movies that kind of disappoints.
Yeah.
Like, Velocipaster, great title.
Yeah.
Kind of poor execution. Jesus Christ, Vampire Hunter. I get what they were going for. Danger 5 did it way fucking better.
Yeah.
Somebody put in effort, but there's obviously a disconnect between the creativity and the execution.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a common theme tonight. I feel like there are a lot of movies where the name is the marketing for the movie.
So it's very much like the concept that I came up with, Divorce Law Dinosaur Island.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
We got Avenging Disco Vampires.
That's
Disco
a new one on
vampires.
me.
Ooh.
I haven't heard of that one before.
Have you heard of a Nymphoid Barbarian in Dinosaur Hell?
I have
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know where I pick these up along the way. I have enough friends like you that tell me these things, though. But I believe this one that I found out from college because it's a trauma. That's why.
Oh, it's trauma. That makes sense.
It's a trauma movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's trauma.
Okay, I probably don't want to click the link though.
I love Lloyd Kaufman is a national treasure. My dream date in Baltimore would be with Lloyd Kaufman on one side and John Waters on the other.
That would. I can't even imagine that kind of scenario.
The only restaurant you can go to is one of the Salvador Dali painting. I just can't imagine how that would work in the real world.
I somehow I just kind of imagine John Waters being strangely like quiet and professional, and Kaufman just constantly swearing.
Yeah, that's because that's kind of what would happen. That's accurate.
So I probably don't need to click that link because as soon as he told me trauma, I absolutely know everything that happens in the movie.
Yep. Yeah, I think all of us are also familiar with stuff like Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD.
Poultrygeist.
Poultrygeist.
There's so many trash movies by
All right,
Trauma.
sorry, I don't want to get ahead of the game.
Okay.
Let's go
All
through
right.
the list.
Okay, we got Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town.
Again, a new one on me, so I'm going to click on that and see what this is. 1989. Oh, perfect. It's one of those like cable style like Zombie Nightmare.
Yeah, you never like a lot of these titles, you hear them and you can't tell if there's something recent that was done as sort of like a tongue-in-cheek a tribute to older movies, or actually older movies done dead seriousness.
The poster for this looks like if Journey cosplayed as the Addams Family. It's really funny. Also, director, of course, a trademark of almost all these, director and writer are the same person.
Well, yeah. It's one of those passion projects.
I'm really passionate about it. The Chopper Chicks.
I'm really passionate about Copter Greg. Bring him back.
I don't, the number of people who know about Copter Greg is like 6 people. Oh, these are some great posters. Do you see all the different ones they have?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Yeah, I looked
They're
at the post for the
awesome.
next one. Yeah.
That's good. So we've got oversexed rug suckers from Mars.
Wait, wasn't that a Rugrats episode?
What?
I feel like that's some sort of that's like the Wonder Chosen version of the Rugrats.
We got sorority babes in the slime ball bolorama.
That's
Slime
a
ball
fucking
bowl
word
wrap-
salad. God.
Yeah.
Also, I looked at that and thought it was a MAME game. Like one of those fucking bowling puzzle based unlock the nudie picture. Oh, yeah, okay, this movie is exactly what I thought it would be, 1988.
All right, let me see here.
This looks like Death Spa.
Oh yeah, Death Spa. Yeah, it does. You know, I said that these are movies that paint a weird picture in your head, but it's really hard for me to actually picture what a slime ball bolorama is. Oh, I guess I was thinking too literal.
Well, I mean, if you've ever seen any of those game shows filmed in front of a live studio audience in Orlando Studios, Nickelodeon, there's a lot of slime, and I would presume bowling balls. Something from Double Dare.
I was thinking too literal. It's probably just a bolorama frequented by a bunch of really creepy dudes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was imagining like actual like bowling balls made of slime, but yeah, that sounds a lot more for this particular title. Yes.
Oh no, this video that it's playing is very unfortunate. I am curious about the large claws though.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we've got the gay bed and breakfast of terror.
You know, I've been to Rehoboth before, where we walked to a gay bed and breakfast to get coffee one morning, and it was darling. There was nothing terrifying about it.
You went to a bed and breakfast just for coffee?
Yeah, we were just walking around the neighborhood.
Did they do that?
Yeah, some of the bed and breakfast is like you don't have to stay there to come for breakfast. No, that's not like an exclusive thing. You can have half of bed and breakfast. You can do one or the other. It's not I mean, they have a package deal.
That's not the right logic gate, though. It's bed and breakfast, not bed or breakfast. Bed X or breakfast? That doesn't make any sense.
We're breaking the bed and breakfast wheel. We're making it our own. McDonald's has all-day breakfast. We can have breakfast or bed.
There you go.
It's my right as an American and or Canadian.
See, but I want a bed that is breakfast, just like the McDonald's Happy Meal design of a bed frame instead of a racing car. I sleep in a McDonald's Happy Meal. What about you?
Please don't tell anyone how I live. I've been deep diving into Simpsons Bortz posting this last week, so so you guys might have heard of this one, but I love the title: Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre.
No, this is again a new one on me. As we get further down the list, I realize just how sheltered I might be.
I love how Arkansas is infested with sharks, even though Arkansas is a landlocked state in America.
I mean,
I didn't even think of that.
There are such people as land sharks, land barons. Maybe this is a social commentary movie. No, it's not.
No.
Oh my God, I'm watching the trailer. No,
this
it's not.
This is close to the social commentary as the land shark in Saturday Night Live. This is not.
Oh, this is the TNT version of Lake Placid. This is great. This is just Hooters going to the Baltimore Aquarium.
Yeah, as soon as I heard of this movie's title, I immediately added it to my list for our bad movie night.
Okay, very good. Very good. I'm also keeping this list open to send to my friends.
Okay, so I don't know whether we should actually talk about this next one or just kind of pretend it doesn't exist, but it's a pretty... yeah.
Yeah, this isn't the reason you had me to be on this episode, was it?
Yeah, we need an Edward pass. Please, black man, save us.
You know, I'll take the plunge because it's the movie title. It's one of Snoop Dogg's aliases is Nigarachi. So the movie is gay niggers from outer space. And yeah, that's absolutely horrendous. Why is this? I mean, I understand why it's a thing.
Here's the thing. I know about this movie because I saw Diamanda Hagen review it, and she had me on one of her videos to say the title out loud. And so, I am kind of familiar with this movie. It's made in Denmark, so I'm guessing they don't know that particular word is very, very verboten over here in America and Canada. But
well, from what I understand, it was done as like a parody of blaxploitation, but is also like
okay.
I can't remember if it's actually porn or if it's like it's like it could be a porn parody or a parody of porn, and I don't know what it is. It's a title that it's kind of impossible to escape its notice. Like it jumps out at you. I also have on my list a movie called Death Toilet 4: Brown Snakes on a Plane, which I think is kind of offends me more than the other one does.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of familiar. I don't know if you've ever heard of Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead, but like, I feel like this has been done before.
Why didn't I put that on the list?
Yeah.
I knew of it.
I love that this is the fourth one in the series. You know, this is the first title of the second trilogy of Death Toilet movies. Absolutely.
Oh, God.
It's bizarre how many movies you will have this many sequels, and you're wondering, how is the first one even successful? I kind of wonder if some of these just happen to be so successful from the first one that they're able to fund 3 more movies, even though every single one since has been a dud.
Either that, or they just named it number 4 in the hopes that you would be interested in seeing other ones.
Yeah, maybe we should see how many of these death toilets there are
before making the presumption that there are others.
Yes. The problem is I don't know if I want to type in Death Toilet into the IMDb because that'll come back to me every single time I go to the search field. But you know,
yeah, every time you go at IMDb, it shows you like pictures at the bottom of the last things you looked up. And there's just going to be this big toilet in the middle of it that's not going to go away for the next 20 movies you look up.
See, no, I imagined that they noticed, and for his account, they made a perpetual overlay of somebody looking disappointed in his direction.
Okay, so I am looking at, under the more like this tab, there are the other 4 Death Toilet movies. Number 2 is just called Death Toilet Number 2, which fair.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Death Toilet 2 is Call of Duty, and I feel like they already ran out of ideas. Death Toilet 5, Invasion of the Potty Snatchers.
Oh God. I'm still standing by my don't kink shame rule, but we're getting dangerously close.
Oh, yeah, no.
I've played the adult baby levels of Yakuza. I got through them. This is still going to territory I'd rather not acknowledge. All right, what's the one after that? Radioactive Cannibal Vikings from Hell.
Yes.
That actually sounds interesting now that I think about it.
That also sounds like a Half-Life mod.
Well, yes.
Oh, it's a short film. That's hilarious.
The Dark
Swedish
Heart of
Vikings.
Sweden. Whenever a movie has a description that says they journey into the dark heart of Sweden, you know the movie is made in Sweden.
Oh
Or
yeah.
it's a Metalocalypse episode.
I find like filmmakers tend to obsess with their own country and want to make everything set in their own country and will do anything to make it sound like mysterious or weird.
You could also tell it's made in Sweden because of all of the umlauts over all the vowels in the cast name, but you know,
I didn't think so, but it's from Denmark.
Yeah, not to slander my hometown at all, but it's like, hey, have you ever tried to figure out what the water in the Baltimore Inner Harbor is actually made out of? Ew. It's like being known for weird things. That's the poor and dubious quality of your harbor's water. It's not something to be proud of.
So this next movie is called No, the Case is Happily Resolved.
So every Dateline episode, what is this?
No, when you click on the IMDb link, it has like what looks like an Italian title, but that is the English title of the movie.
Okay.
I like, what does that mean? No, the case is happily resolved.
When the eyewitness to a brutal murder decides not to testify, the actual murderer chooses to finger him. What? Oh no! Finger him as a murderer. Yes, for stand claim eyewitness status for him. So okay, that's interesting.
That actually is an interesting premise.
Yeah. How long ago was this movie made? It looks like it's in the
73.
60s. 73. Okay.
Yeah.
I bought a vampire motorcycle.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a movie called I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle.
1990. Oh, this is the schlock I love.
Mm-hmm.
This is right up my alley. I spent a gleeful afternoon someday last week just watching Mr. Nanny.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm sorry.
What?
I completely lost my train of thought when I heard you say that you watched Mr. Nanny willingly.
I just couldn't stop thinking about Hulk Hogan.
But yeah, this is one of those movies I'm talking about. Like, you hear a title like I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, and you assume this is like a late 2000s like tribute to old cheesy movies, and you find out it's actually a serious movie from 1990. I actually own this movie called Some Guy Who Kills People.
Well, there you go.
All right.
I have not seen it yet, but it's on my DVD shelf.
It looks real pretty there, doesn't it?
Sounds like the prequel to Hobo with a Shotgun, but
It does.
I still need to get you your copy of Barda the Blood Llama, by the way.
I don't know. I was in a video store that had a whole bunch of like really obscure stuff, and someone there told me that I have to watch it, and I'm like, this is like $5. Okay, I'll buy it. And then this one I just love: The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
I mean that's quite an accomplishment there, you know.
Wait, is that Sam Elliott?
Yeah, I think that's Sam Elliott.
That's fucking
Yeah,
Sam
take a look at
Elliott.
this. Yep, Sam Elliott.
I don't know, like a title like that, you can't not see you can't not see that movie. And I have a hard time believing it can disappoint me. Like,
So here's the thing. I also have to give a lot of credit to any actor who agrees to take on the role of Hitler, because it's not like it's a role where what you're in is going to have a little line that says featuring in the role of Hitler blank. Like, so props to them. Whoever, Joe Lucas, you in The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot, props to you for taking on that role.
I wonder if there's like an Alan Smithy who plays Hitler in a whole bunch of movies, and it's just like, don't credit me by name. Just like, I kind of look like Hitler, so I just have to be the guy who plays him in every movie.
Just list me as Bob Wonder Jew.
What?
God.
Why Bob?
Not quite a wonderful name there. Yeah.
Okay, so those are the ones that paint a weird picture, but then we've also got movie titles that just sound like absolute nonsense. Like,
Yeah.
Steve, can you try to read the next one?
Sweetback's bad ass song.
I am kind of familiar with this movie.
Yeah, it kind of comes up on a lot of apparently a Simpsons episode was named after it. So
I think so, yeah.
It's fairly known.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like blaxploitation. Big shocker. I mean, I wonder how much money they made purely from adding the extra A's and S's to the title. Like, like if not for those, it would be a fairly normal sounding movie. We've got The House with the Laughing Windows.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good is that a Goosebumps? No, it's a genuine question. That sounds like
that
a Goosebumps.
really sounds like a Goosebumps.
R.L. Stein presents Shiver in Fear, number 72, The House with Laughing Windows.
1976. Apparently it was originally French.
Interesting.
Or
French or Canadian
or
French?
is it Spanish?
Okay,
Okay,
I think it's Spanish. Yeah.
Huh. Maybe it's Italian. It's trivia. The house used as the Laughing Windows one was located in a small village called Malabergo, close to Bologna.
All right, well, they figured that out. Somebody do the Indiana Jones overlay with the fucking plane and the red dots. Da, 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 da.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just looking at this IMDb page.
No, it's Italian. Yeah.
Under top picks, I guess these are ones that come up when you look up this one. I can't see this full title here, but let me click here.
I feel like this is Wiki Sift on the fly.
The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion.
I'm
That
sorry.
is a cumbersome title.
I'm sorry. I thought you found a really interesting website.
No, I just thought, hey, this sounds I just thought this sounds relevant to our discussion. Sorry, the IMDb page for House with Laughing Windows just has like a video with like a guy being repeatedly stabbed in several places, and it kind of looks like he's not a real person, it's just painted on, but it looked very gross. Here's a confusing title: Beyond the Infinite 2 Minutes.
Yeah. Wait, what? I mean, yeah, I've spent an infinite 2 minutes waiting for a red light to change, but I don't think that's what this is all about here.
I've definitely had periods of my life where it's like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom real bad. This is the longest 2 minutes ever. Stuck in the elevator. Like, that's the closest I've gotten to an infinite 2 minutes.
I kind of would guess based on the title that it's sort of a Groundhog Day situation where someone just keeps replaying the same 2 minutes, but the description says a cafe owner discovers that the TV in his cafe suddenly shows images from the future, but only 2 minutes into the future.
Oh, okay.
But that's not infinite 2 minutes. It's just you can see into the future. So that's very strange. This is a Japanese movie by the looks of it. So
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So sometimes things are just lost in translation, maybe.
That's what I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay, so Stevo, you've probably both have heard of this movie. It's pretty infamous.
Oh yeah, we've read fan fiction, Faster Enterprise Kill, which was based off of this movie.
I have heard of it, but I've never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen either. I feel like I should. It's just like one of those, like, it's one of those movies.
It's probably not as good as like the phenomenon of, its infamy.
Oh, so
Three
like,
go-go dancers holding a young girl hostage come across a crippled old man living with his 2 sons in the desert.
So it's like Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's made.
It's
a
more
big
fun
impact.
to say. There's a lot of titty in this, absolutely, but this is like 1950s. Oh, it's 1960s titty. So,
Was that allowed?
yeah. Just, not in Hollywood. Yeah, I don't see any like studio or names that I recognize at all here. So this is definitely a guerrilla production.
Well, aside from Russ Meyer, who's been known to,
Oh,
cast
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the. It's like Electric Boogaloo, in which it made an impact in like pop culture, despite the fact that nobody knows anything about it. There is a movie with a name based on this that is pretty strange. Stevo, you want to try reading this one?
What? Halloween Pussy Trap Kill Kill?
Yes.
Did my voice just unlock like a key card somewhere by saying these words in this sequence?
Trevor, boxcar. By the time you've read this, the president will be dead.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so the next one's Rat Finka Boo Boo.
Yeah.
And Fink is spelled with a P.
Mm-hmm.
As was the time back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, as was the
As was
style
the
at the
fashion.
time.
Yeah. And it's also known as Rat Fink and Boo Boo, but I like a Boo Boo better, and I can't really. I don't know how to explain why that's better.
Oh, yeah, it's like Monster
It's
a Go-Go instead of Monster and Go-Go. Which is...
Yeah. Oh, I love the description. After stopping three crooks from robbing an innocent woman, two dimwits become crime fighters.
Isn't that just Dumb and Dumber?
I kind of love like accidental superhero origins. I mean, like, okay, yes, every superhero has an accident origin in where they gain the powers, but I mean, it's an accident in which they make the decision to become crime fighters.
I also love the fact that Ratfink his secret identity is hidden by just a standard ski mask. That's beautiful.
A budget balaclava.
He just looks like he's late for a snowball fight.
Oh, shit, guys, did I miss it? Oh, all right, where's the kegger after?
I also love how the movie poster has a gorilla holding a woman in it. And like, what does this have to do with crime fighting?
You gotta get the kids in the seat somehow, I guess.
Also, Boo Boo kind of has a little bit of a Greatest American Hero thing going on with his costume.
Yes.
These are
I want to say the next one. I want to say the next one, Tom.
Okay, say the next one.
Tom, I want to say this.
Yes.
Tom, I want to say the next one. Thank you.
Okay.
Anus McGillicuddy.
Well, there you go. Yes, of course.
Distant cousin of Dirty Dingus McGee.
Look at this description. He's forced to interrupt his life of guzzling beer and women to dispose of a corpse. What?
Guzzles women? What the heck? Oh, yes, of course.
What is happening with this movie title? Oh, wow. Okay, Steve, can you read the whole description here, because my tongue is like...
You want me to read the whole description of Anus McGillicuddy?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. When Anus McGillicuddy's woman stops a would-be assassin, Anus is forced to interrupt his life of guzzling beer and women to dispose of the corpse. When what starts as a simple chore quickly escalates into a darker plot of deceit and revenge, where it seems even Satan himself is after Anus.
Well,
Ha! Very funny.
not that I'm going to judge, I'll tell you, but
How is this not a trauma? Oh, no! Oh, no!
Is it a
no.
trauma movie?
No, but I scrolled down, and under trivia, it says 99.9% unscripted.
Oh,
No, I am not going to see this movie.
As an improv comedian, I know instinctively to avoid improv comedians.
Improv He ruined improv comedy. Okay, sorry, I just stumbled upon this. Under the more like this tab, this came up.
What?
Yeah, I just saw this one too. That's great. I know what I'm watching for my birthday this year. Short films, it says.
Yes. 9 short experimental films that comprise of an hour and 21 minutes. That's 100 minutes. No,
I
yeah.
wonder if the movie next to it, Scary Movie, is a description of the movie prior to.
Well, we didn't tell the title of this one. It's called
IMDb. Are you trying to tell me something?
The title of it is Solar Anus Cinema, and I love the fact that in IMDb, the stars are listed at the very top are Christy Al-Shaibi, Samir Al-Shaibi, and Brandon.
You said the movie title so professionally. It's like this isn't the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
Are you
know,
telling me you can't make Solar Anus Cinema sound refined?
Warner Brothers Pictures presents
I was just imagining
Derek Jacobi in Solar Anus Cinema. Yeah, I
I'm just imagining it being presented on Masterpiece Theater.
On this week's episode of Solar Anus Cinema.
Perhaps one of the greatest accomplishments of Osama al-Shaibi.
All right, what's next?
All right, next we've got Fertilize the Blaspheming Bombshell.
No, you do it. I'm tired.
And that kind of took me a second because I thought you were telling me to read the title. I'm like, I just did. There are a bunch of movies here that are just syllables more than actual words. This movie is called this movie is called Iga.
Oh, yeah, there's two Igas. There's one
There's
Iga.
two Igas.
Yeah, there's the American Iga starring the dude that would eventually be Jaws. And then there's the
yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, then there's the Indian Iga without the H, which is about a dude who gets murdered and then reincarnated as a fly to get revenge.
What in the
Gary Eagle is actually the American one.
It's one of my best friend's favorite movies.
It's the video that's auto playing on the IMDb page is something. What? There's just a bunch of like terrible paper mache skulls in a cave, and then it cuts to a bunch of like a rock concert that takes place in the 50s.
Yep, that's the American Iga.
Yep.
Like a bunch of clean cut boys singing beach songs, and there's cavemen and skulls. And
if I remember correctly, it was an MST3K episode.
Oh
actually.
yes, one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a movie called.
Yep, it's about a snake, if you could believe it.
Oh,
no, I remember that.
Shocker!
I remember that Joel Hodgson and a bunch of the original MST3K people did this thing called Cinematic Titanic.
Yes,
and I brought a friend of mine to go see them perform over in Milwaukee, and unfortunately, we did not know that was going to be the title, and my friend was horrified of snakes, so she had to sit next to me and pretty much like bury her head in my shoulders that she wouldn't see the movie at all. Oh my god!
It's snakes and transformation fetish.
Yeah, had I had known, first of all, I had known that she was afraid of snakes, I probably wouldn't have taken her to see that one, because I think they did another movie entirely. But
second of all, if I had known this was about transformation fetish, I would have come alone. Also, okay, the next one I didn't know about, and it makes me laugh.
Just
yep.
It's PHFFFFT. And like how do you buy tickets to this? I mean, now you can buy them online, but back in the day you had to walk into a theater and say like 2 tickets for
Or if you're trying to call, it just sounds like interference, so they keep thinking you're not saying it.
Exactly, yeah.
Or they call the police because some snake man is spitting acid in people's eyes at the movie theater.
So I tell you, this is a movie that played only in drive-through, so they didn't have to worry about what the title of the movie was. No.
Yeah, that's true. So, Stevo, can you see what the name of the next movie on this, the last one on the the nonsense list?
Me?
Yep.
Yes.
I can read, yes. I can see this. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, please.
What is... I can hear you laughing. What is so amusing about hearing this normal American say banana motherfucker?
Oddly enough, not starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Bananas in pajamas too. Banana motherfucker.
6 adventurers go on a quest for a mystical cemetery. After disturbing the dead, they trigger an ancient curse that will destroy the entire world. I love how absolutely nothing in that description makes you think of the title.
Does it star Bill Maher? I'm worried about this.
Let's see. There's 7 actors credited in total.
And there's a banana coming out of an anus on the... Oh!
Yep.
And it says a masterpiece, Lloyd Kaufman.
Of course
shows
they
you-
asked
yeah.
Lloyd Kaufman for a blurb.
From the creators of Papa Wrestling
Oh.
and Blarg. Tom, genuine question. Why isn't Blarg on here?
Yes, that's another question.
This is the first I've heard of it. I didn't look too closely at the movie poster, I guess.
Just to narrow down on the spelling here, it's BLARGHAAHRGARG.
Hey, Denise, you want to come over Friday? I was planning on watching Blarg.
I just wonder, like, was Lloyd Kaufman being sarcastic when he sent that blurb?
Maybe he was talking about the title.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you these guys mailed a copy to Lloyd Kaufman with like a little introductory letter and something. Lloyd Kaufman just like glanced at the letter and threw it out, looked at the DVD title, and just sent them a quick email back and was like, "Yeah, watch it. It's a masterpiece." He's like, "Yeah, you can quote me on that, sure."
Oi.
All right, so now we're gonna move into
okay, we're shifting again.
the super long
Here we
names.
go. All right.
This is what we've been kind of gearing up to. I want to do a couple of honorable mentions here.
All right.
I found this in IMDb. It's technically not a movie. I think it's just a recording of a boxing event, but the full title of it is Barney Ross of Chicago in defense of his world's championship welterweight title against Henry Armstrong of California, featherweight champion, held at the Madison Square Garden Bowl, Long Island City, New York.
Sorry. What? Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
I dare say. What a marvelous introduction.
The title took longer than the boxing match.
This is somebody defending their honor in the 1800s. Oh my gosh.
Well, they put a welterweight against a featherweight, so I don't know if maybe that was a really short fight.
Legends say you can still hear him screaming across the horizon on autumn nights.
I just like someone holding like a conch shell to their ear. Barney Ross of Chicago in defense of his world championship welterweight title against Henry Armstrong, California wrestler. It's like I'm pretty sure this conch shell is haunted, but I don't really feel threatened at all.
I've also never heard of the Madison Square Garden Bowl. I know of Madison Square Garden in Manhattan, but that's not in. Oh my goodness, it's an actual location. Okay, never mind then. It was opened in 1932 and demolished in 1942. Also, this This fight is from like the 1930s. Okay, there you go.
Wow, defending your championship welterweight title in a place that got demolished within a decade.
Yep.
Oof.
I can't tell if this is a mistake, but there's a movie I found on IMDb, and the title is How to Be Really Bad. In some places like Ontario, it was called How to Be Evil. That's not me explaining. That is the full title.
Yeah.
The full title is How to Be Really Bad. In some places like Ontario, it was called How to Be Evil. And I feel like that was just like a mistake when they were like describing it in the IMDb page, and now that's the title.
Maybe they
Like-
decided to let like a random bot just take part of their like film script and make that the title because they couldn't figure out what to call it.
So the original title is in German, which is I can't pronounce this. Mein teuflisch gut Freundin. That translates as my devilishly good friend. So I don't know what happened to the English title.
It sounds like one of those. It looks like one of those signs you see in BoJack Horseman, where Mr. Peanut Butter tries to order the sign, and it says like, you know, happy birthday BoJack in signature font, and the sign actually says happy birthday BoJack in signature font all in one sentence. So anyway,
Yeah, I kind of look at the also known as section, and a lot of them just say like how to be really bad, and I feel like that is what happened. Like in Canada, it was just going to be called how to be evil, and somehow the title on IMDb ended up being How to Be Really Bad. In some places like Ontario, it was called How to Be Evil. So that's why it's an honorable mention, because I don't think that's on purpose.
No.
Okay, so super long names. There are definitely going to be some of these that you guys
Oh, yeah.
know. Like, you know, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert
Mhm.
Ford. The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Personal favorite. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's a fun movie.
Yes, it is.
Everything you always wanted to know about sex, but we're afraid
Can
to
I
ask.
hop back for a second? Because John Lithgow
Yeah.
in Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai is just such a joy. It is. Sorry, you've sold me on watching that while I fell asleep tonight. Also, what was this about? What I wanted to know about sex, but didn't ask you at the last convention we were at together.
You know, there's Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the
One of my
Bomb.
all-time favorites. Yep.
To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
Also personal favorite.
There
yeah.
are a lot of these. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Which-
The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up with Zombies.
Another
Yep.
MSG
With
cake,
two
yeah.
exclamation marks and a
I am very disappointed you didn't include Shirley Pimple in the John Wayne Temple of Doom.
I don't think I came across
Okay.
that one, so we can throw that in
Good,
there.
awesome, fantastic. Glad I contributed something.
So we've got Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Mhm.
There's I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka, which is not quite as long, but I want to point out that from the same makers, you also have Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood.
That was a high school favorite of mine. I watched that a lot growing
And that's
up.
like 5 different movie titles just merged into one.
It's
Beautiful.
so good.
I didn't even hear about it until like maybe 10 years ago when it was on TV. And
That movie is so. Oh, the TV edit must have been terrible. That movie is.
I didn't see very much of it. I just saw a couple of minutes. I'm like, this is amazing. And then I hear the movie title and I'm like, okay, sold. This is the greatest movie.
No, it's awesome.
So you probably know those movies, but have you heard of Shoot First and Pray You Live, because luck has nothing to do with it?
I have not.
Yes, I have. I don't know from what.
Swept Away by an Unusual Destiny in the Blue Sea of August.
I did not know that one. That was
All
wild.
right, we're in Final Fantasy territory now.
There's The Saga of the Viking Women and Their Voyage to the Waters of the Great Sea Serpent.
Really? Was it eventful?
These are more fun to say out loud than they are to just read off a page.
Yeah. It also sounds like a porn parody, but we won't go into that right now.
The Cook, the Thief, His Wife, and Her Lover.
Bob and Carol.
In the bedroom with the candlestick.
Yes. Actually, I want to talk a little bit about movies that have long names, but that you probably know by a shorter version. Like
Gotcha. Right.
Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines. That is the short
Right.
version.
Oh.
The full version is Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, or How I Flew from London to Paris in 25 hours, 11 minutes. David Copperfield is the short title. The full title is The Personal History, Adventures, Experience, and Observation of David Copperfield the Younger.
What happened to the older? Did he get supplanted?
He's not as interesting. We don't write stories about him.
Oh.
There's one movie that's known by the title Marat Sad, I think is how you pronounce it. That's the, I guess, international title, but the original title is The Persecution and Assassination of Jean-Paul Marat, as performed by the inmates of the asylum at Charenton under the direction of the Marquis de Sade.
God bless
there
you.
you go. Spoilers here. What the heck?
I was really invested, and then I got to the end of the sentence, and I'm like, hey. Okay, now we're gonna get to the really long ones.
Here we go.
The Perils of Gwendolyn in the Land of the Yik Yak.
Interesting. Yes.
The Positively True Adventures of the Alleged Texas Cheerleader Murdering Mom.
So it's possibly true and alleged. That's lovely. Okay, beautiful.
That's a clickbait article title. That's not a movie.
I love how they made it redundant just to make the title even longer. Steve, I think you'd enjoy this next one.
Oh, the man with the smallest penis in existence and the electron microscope technician who loved him.
Title is longer than his. Oh, never mind. Anyway,
that one really paints a picture too. I mean, you hear this one right away, and you know it's like a terrible parody, but the 41-year-old version who knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it.
Bad. Oh my God.
I gotta look this up. Who did this? Which one of my friends did this movie?
I need to make sure it's not by the same people who did like Epic Movie and Disaster Movie and all those ones.
Sounds like it, but I don't think it is.
Oh man, the DVD cover says extra virgin, unrated, better than regular virgin.
Extra virgin. No, that's awful.
And why does it look like my rabbi on the ID? Oh, what is this? What is this movie?
Probably bad.
Oh, and that's Brian Callen too from Mad TV, man.
R.L. Schaefer of IGN called it a painful, unfunny, unoriginal, sloppy mess of a movie, while Brad McKay of Collider stated it's not funny or entertaining. Brian Orndorff of DVD Talk recommended that his readers not give Craig Moss your time or your money. Watch coverage of the BP oil disaster instead. I guarantee it's funnier.
Oh,
that is savage.
Okay, first of all, I'm really
brutal.
upset to see that the starring actor was that guy from Med TV who's actually funny.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm looking through the cast, and there's a character. The actor is J.R. Starr, and he plays Black Guy, and it's spelled BLAQGUI. Or why? Oh no, there's Black Guy is played by two people at different ages.
Yep.
Oh. I don't want to watch this movie, but I do want to learn more about it.
Oh, it also has Melissa Villaseñor from SNL, probably from before she was in SNL. No, I think 2010.
This is a movie you want to study at a healthy distance.
Yes.
Yeah.
With gloves on.
From behind the blast shields.
I love there's one character in there named Store Clerk Bastard.
Oh, how did they get a budget of $1.3 million for this?
Yeah.
My friend directed Carousel about a murdering carousel unicorn for far, far less. Why does this movie get money?
Like, this really sounds like something that like some college film students put together on like a budget of $13 and a bus pass, but they have like famous actors in it.
Wow. Oh, I died a little tonight.
So this movie is called The End of the World in Our Usual Bed in a Night Full of Rain.
Ooh.
This is an
Right.
older one called Will Our Heroes Be Able to Find Their Friend Who Has Mysteriously Disappeared in Africa?
Well, have they
No.
looked in Africa? I don't want to be telling people how to do their jobs, but
This movie is called Oh Snap, I'm Trapped in the House with a Crazy Lunatic Serial Killer.
It's Oh Snap. That
Oh,
was
Snap.
a lovely intro to the title there.
I don't know. That title does make me want to see it.
Mm.
But
this next one is interesting.
it's a romantic comedy.
Can Hieronymus Merkin ever forget Mercy Humpy and find true happiness?
Yep. And I really like this next one a lot. It's called I Killed My Lesbian Wife, Hung Her on a Meat Hook, and Now I Have a 3-picture deal at Disney.
Jeez.
Someone's got a real active fan account.
Okay,
yeah.
so now, I told you about the story of how I wanted to order a movie for my name tag, and the first one I found would not fit on it no matter what. That is
Right.
this next movie, which I love this title so much. Okay, the movie is titled Night of the Day of the Dawn of the Son of the Bride of the Return of the Revenge of the Terror of the Attack of the Evil Mutant Alien Flesh-Eating Hellbound Zombified Living Dead Part 2 in shocking 2D.
This is a perfect example of why I'm glad we're friends. I'm grateful that you've shown me this.
It's like an amusing title until it gets to in shocking 2D, and then I just lost it. So this movie was made in 1991. It's kind of barely a movie from what I read. Basically, you know, Night of the Living Dead, due to a screw up, was put into the public domain. And so someone's like, hey, I could just take Night of the Living Dead and overdub it and put silly voices. And I don't know, might have been like improvised. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so he just overdubbed Night of the Living Dead, put his own lines in and released it as a movie. And it's generally regarded as pretty meh. But like this was in 91 that he made it, and it kind of it didn't catch the public attention until I think the mid to late 2000s, when everyone, like, IMDb exploded and everyone can look up any movie, and eventually someone came across this title and like, what is this title? And pretty soon everyone started talking about it, and then this guy realizes, hey, people are actually care about this again. I'm going to make sequels. And so he has a part 3, part 4, and part 5 with all very similar but slightly different titles. There's Night of the Day of the Dawn of the Son of the Bride of the Return of the Revenge of the Terror of the Attack of the Evil Mutant Hellbound Flesh-Eating Subhumanoid Zombified Living Dead Part 3. And he did a part 4 the same year, 2005. I think it has the same title other than part 3 and part 4. And then finally in 2011, he did Night of the Day of the Dawn of the Son of the Bride of the Return of the Revenge of the Terror of the Attack of the Evil Mutant Hellbound Flesh-Eating Crawling Alien Zombified Subhumanoid Living Dead Part 5. And I think he's just doing different movie, like overdubbing different movies now. Whatever is in the public domain that he can find. And
I'm not going to say I support what they're doing, but I'm not going to say I don't support it.
yeah, like I feel like
They're treading a fine line.
I feel like this guy's living his dream, and I don't necessarily have anything.
And it's not legally questionable,
Yeah, like
right?
Yeah, like it sounds like it's probably not very funny, but I think he's trying, and
Yeah.
and
I don't wanna-
I love the title. And I can't hate a movie that is called this.
Right.
So yeah, that wouldn't fit on a name tag. There's just no way. they wouldn't let me do that.
And I think that's the last of it, right?
Yeah, looks
Yeah,
like
that's
it.
the last one on my list.
I didn't have anything else. I used up all my material.
Yeah, the only one I could think of was the man who went up a hill but came down a mountain. But that,
Yeah. I
I
almost added that to those lists, but I had so many, and I'm like, which ones do I include? Which ones do I don't?
Right.
I will say, if you want like entertaining titles, the first things that come to mind that they're not movies, but they're the fan fictions that somebody initially wrote just on their own. We started reading, then they started writing based on what we were saying about their reading, and now they write explicitly for us.
Wait, okay, I had a hard time processing what you just said.
All right, so this is somebody who writes fan fiction.
Yes.
Buster Manwomb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Buster Manwomb. I know who you're
So
talking
we
about.
found them and read a story or two of theirs.
Yeah.
They found out we read their stuff and started writing more for us to read.
Mhm.
Now they write things that explicitly reference us as a show, Friday Night
Oh,
Fan
nice.
Fiction. And these titles are amazing. 69 Hues of Disney 2, Simba from The Lion King bangs his way out of thee. 69 Hues of Disney 4, Tommy Wiseau eats out the Hindenburg. And again, 69 Hues of Disney 4, Thomas the Tank Engine tries it in the caboose.
Oh my god.
69 Hues of D's Nuts 6, Disney reboots Indiana Jones.
Well,
69 Hues of D's Nuts 8, Mary Poppins calls J.K. Rowling an asshole.
This is very Chuck Tingle.
It just keeps going. I won't do too many more, just two.
Okay.
Well, no, there's like 36 now. There's a lot. But I really, really like 69 Hues of D's Nuts 9, Columbo finds out who cucked Roger Rabbit.
That sounds familiar.
And
You might have
69
told me about that one before.
And 69 Hues of family-friendly Willow 2 and Happy Potter's Moist Flesh book.
What?
Wow. Those might be better than any of the actual movies.
I guess we proved that, what is it, Hugo nominated fanfiction.net and archive of our own.net are more inventive than Hollywood and off Hollywood.
Well, I guess the difference is that, like, you're describing fanfics written by one person and put up on, like, the fanfiction.net or whatever
Right, exactly.
else, whereas these are things that actually were published and put on movie shelves or seen
Well,
in
we don't know if they
theaters.
were ever actually on any shelves. That we can't verify. The allegations are there.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't think you can just put up an IMDb page for a movie you didn't make, but maybe you can.
And that sounds like a good experiment, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to encourage.
We should try to get our non-made movie up there.
I don't want to encourage my listeners to vandalize IMDb, but not publicly. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you to everyone for listening. Please review us on whatever you're listening to us on. It doesn't have to be a good review. Any review is fine. And if you're not sure what to say, just say these people are a bunch of sad loser nerd monkeys.
Hey, well, yeah.
They don't have to say you. It doesn't need to be specific.
Until next time.
Until next time when it is specific.
Thanks so much.